Hi, this is Phil Potempa. Welcome to another edition of Notoriety. Each week we bring you all the ticket opportunities, events, everything that's not to be missed to mark on your calendar in Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland, and beyond. And of course, this broadcast is the radio equivalent of all of the feature stories, columns you'll read in addition to the flagship Post-Tribune newspaper that is under the umbrella of Chicago Tribune Media. So all my stories and columns are always captured there at chicagotribune.com. Some of you are tuned in through our traditional radio airways here at WJOB 1230 AM on the radio dial. Others have the added advantage you found us on YouTube, streaming through social media. So you have the window to the world and the added advantage of our cameras at our studios, which are the Strachan Van Til studios. We come to you broadcasting from Hammond Live, and we want to put a timestamp on this date on this Tuesday, September the 9th. So if it's a rebroadcast, you'll know exactly how to plan any of the dates or the tickets or times that are tossed out during our radio interview. In our studio today, we have some returning favorites that come to us from our friends to the east, our stage friends at Footlight Players. It is now the month of September. Why not add a little bit of mystery into your life with a title that is something that may not be familiar because we have it as a regional premiere, I believe, or it could even be world premiere. We're going to find out more from our friends with Footlight Players. George Romero, welcome.
Hello.
And Joyce Scott.
Hi.
Thank you so much. Have either of you ever been on the radio show with me before?
I have not, but you've interviewed some of my former castmates in the past, so I have watched your show before.
Okay, so you are familiar with it. All right, and now tell me, did I misspeak? This mystery, has it ever been done before, or no, this is an entirely brand new world premiere, or no, we say Midwest or regional premiere for it?
So it was produced and written by a group out of Michigan, and they've produced it twice in Michigan.
Oh, okay.
It is the first time it will ever be produced in the state of Indiana at all.
Okay, so that is, and where in Michigan? Do you happen to remember who did it in Michigan?
I don't remember where in Michigan. I'm so sorry.
That's right. And usually I don't have to refer too much to my notes, but because it's a brand new subject matter, I'm going to just use the prompter here and I'm going to read a little bit about it just so that we can let our viewers and listeners know. First of all, the title is 1, 2, 3 in unison.
The Bluff.
The Bluff. So make sure that you ingrain that in your brain. Community Theater of Brandon Footlights are presenting this new locally written musical. So it launches this coming Thursday, September the 11th. So as I mentioned, if this is a rebroadcast, mark your calendar accordingly. Footlight Players are friends of the East in Michigan City, right along Franklin Street. The first preview will be on September the 11th. And this is based on the book by Matt Kreisch. Does that sound right? Right, Crash. And then I have music by Scott Peters and Stephen Carrera, assisted by George Jernisi, it looks like. The Bluff is a new comic and comedic whodunit that is centered on Dexter Dole Jr., who wants nothing more than to follow in his father's footsteps as a world-class detective. Struggling to show that he belongs in the world of solving crimes, Dexter intercepts a call that's meant for his father, and it's about the murder of the most wealthy and connected person in the 1920s New York set. So pretending to be his father, Dexter attempts to solve the case of the century. He is met by a cast of suspects featuring anybody from the wealthy business elites, aspiring artists, and even a suspicious butler. You've got to have one of those in there somewhere, right? And it quickly becomes clear that Dexter is in over his head. Can he do it? The help of a secretary could be an unlikely ally. You have to see it to believe it. And it's got a fantastic contemporary Broadway-style score as well. And an energetic ensemble. But how many people will we say is in the cast?
10.
So we've got 10 folks on what is a very, very intimate stage, right?
Yes.
It is.
It's a very intimate stage. And again, it starts in September. I don't know if you need the complete cheat sheet here. I'm going to let somebody do the reading of tickets and all that good stuff for if we can do that commercial right out front before we continue our conversation. So, again, starts September 11th. Tickets range for what to what on there does it show?
Tickets for adults are $17 and tickets for children are $12.
And the run continues from September 11th all the way until
September 28th is our closing.
the 28th. So pretty much we've got the month of September. Always a Thursday night show, or no, just that opening week it is. But from then on, it's always a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or a Friday, Saturday, Sunday schedule.
It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday after that Thursday opening.
With the only matinee opportunity always being on a Sunday?
No, actually.
They actually decided to change it up in the past year, so now we have matinee shows on Saturdays and Sundays at 2 p.m.
That's fantastic. That gives another added advantage because folks get so busy this time of year. There's festivals, and of course, kids back in college. And Footlight Players has such a long and wonderful history. I should have this number ingrained in my brain. It is the fill in the blank. What season? Is it like the 80th season? Footlight Players has been around for so long.
Well, the 76 season, that's a long time.
76 years. And for those that are tuned in or they're scrolling and they're seeing you on our couch here as we conduct our interview with our Footlight Players friends, the last performance or show you were associated with or you've done at Footlight Players? George first.
I did the Dastardly Dr. Devereaux. I played a ward helper and about 2 years ago there.
Okay. And how about Joy?
Literally the play right before his, I was Marianne in Gilligan's Island 2 years ago.
And we had some of the cast of Gilligan's Island here, but you weren't with us that time.
No, I wasn't.
We put all kinds of palm fronds and coconuts all over the table, and we like to. This is a little more minimal because again, it's a mystery whodunit. So other than bringing maybe a giant magnifying glass, it's kind of hard to convey that. And again, this is the tricky part because it's exciting when it's something that's brand new, so most people have not seen it, but herein lies the other side and the challenge of marketing and promoting something that's not as easy as The Sound of Music or something that everybody knows. So that's what we're doing here today. We're getting the message out. You folks probably auditioned and started the process for this. How long ago would you say? If we're into September now, when did all that happen?
I think it was the beginning of August.
Sounds about right. Definitely about 5-6 weeks ago.
Well, 5 or 6 weeks ago. You've been in rehearsals for how long?
3 or 4 weeks.
3 or 4 weeks. And
actually, I think we're at 5 weeks.
Is it all coming together, or is this the final stretch of stress and anxiety just to get everything quite right before that curtain goes up Thursday?
There's always going to be a little anxiety during Tech Week. There's a reason why it's called Tech Week.
That's exactly
but
right.
I think our cast has done a phenomenal job of getting together, learning this brand new play that no one's ever done before, and I'm quite proud of where we're at right now.
Absolutely.
We're in a really good place, I would say. On the stage-wise, we're playing a lot. We're figuring out our characters. Just last night, we figured out a bunch of new bits to do. It's a lot smoother of a production than I think I've ever been a part of this close to opening. There's very few kinks to work out.
Because the running time should clock in at about what when all comes together, with or without intermission round? What are we looking at?
I say without intermission, 90 to 100 minutes.
But there is an intermission sandwiched in there?
Yes, there is intermission.
Okay, all right, very good. Again, we're talking about The Bluff. It's a brand new murder mystery. That also has a musical concept. Our friends at Footlight Players are producing this. It is our Indiana premiere for it. It opens with our first preview on September the 11th. Franklin Street is the main stretch of Michigan City. So easy to get to. If you've not been to Footlight Players or it's been a while, it is still that same configuration, a very intimate 80-seat venue, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And backstage, it is as vast as a football field. Lots of elbow room, 3 green rooms, 15... No, just the opposite, right? It's about the size of this desk backstage. I hear you do amazing things with getting sets and props off in a very, very small changing space. Is that right? I've never been backstage, but that's what I hear.
You can do a lot of incredible things backstage at Footlight, especially if you have a really good creative directive team, which this play, we have an amazing directive team. They've actually built floating walls that come away from the regular set and then move in and out.
Again, if this is the same space that could do Sound of Music, they've done Wizard of Oz. Mm-hmm. If they could put those giant casts in there and make it work, 10 people, this should be pretty easy. What about the musicians? Are they going to be seen or are they going to be hidden somewhere? I know they're right out front somewhere.
So this play...
Or is it tracks, musical tracks?
This is musical tracks because the music for this play requires basically an entire orchestra.
Okay.
We do not have space for 3 drum sets, 4 guitarists, 6 pianists.
Yeah, that would take up most of the stage and the audience part, right? Exactly. And the lobbies also, that is an intimate lobby, which is another reminder. If everything you're hearing here sounds very enticing, you're thinking, we were just thinking about what we were going to do this weekend. Maybe we do some apple picking at Garwood, and then let's go on up to Footlight Players, and we're right there on the same stretch of 421 and see the Bluff. Make sure you do your reservations in advance, because I myself have just shown up at an invite and said, hey, stop by and see it. Quite often it will be sold out at 80 seats. You cannot guarantee, and you don't want to do the whole stretch of getting there in the trek and then find that it's sold out. Usually they'll make you wait in that lobby, and at the last minute, if someone doesn't pick up tickets, then they will squeeze you in if possible. But there's not a lot of extra room. So here's a chance for us to give out a website and a phone number.
So you can go to footlightplayers.org to get tickets, a little bit more information about the show, some pictures, things of that nature. And then the phone number for reservations is 219-874-4035.
Okay. And I should ask this towards the beginning. Joy, you're from what? What town do you live in?
I'm from Valparaiso.
So you're Valparaiso, and George?
Chesterton.
You're Chesterton. So right along in the area, that's one of the great things that all of our regional community theaters have in common. So many folks share varied stages, correct, and make the rounds depending on what your schedules are. And the same thing I hear so often from directors and producers at all of these stage spaces. If they're in a pinch and they need nun habits or they're looking for life vests from the era of the Titanic, so many theaters are so kind about helping out, swapping things. LaPorte Little Theater, Footlight, Canterbury, in Valparaiso we have Chicago Street Theater. Productions are done at the Memorial Opera House. I know that folks are very good about pitching in 4th Street Theater in Chesterton as well. We want to we don't have the advantage for those of you who are streaming and seeing our video component of putting any of the production photos, but our producer is going to help us cheat it out. You've got a fun flyer that's got a photo on it.
Yes.
If they promise to have steady hands, our producer Adriana, will you try to zero in? So one of you be our Vanna White and hold that up towards that camera right in front of you on the tripod, the black tripod, I believe. There you go. And she's going to zoom in super close, and we'll still get a look at our 10-person cast. You'll see it's September the 11th. It goes through the 28th. Great logo, the Bluff, there's that magnifying glass, since it's a mystery, but also with a musical component. And everybody in wonderful costuming and fun components there as well. I see somebody there in a captain's hat. There looks like a very nefarious butler there in his tuxedo along the side. And Joy, what is above your head? It looks like a giant Christmas tree or a cake.
He is actually holding a boat model because one of the wealthy individuals who he actually works for is obsessed with boating. And that's one of his, move it that way. That's one of his boat models on a silver platter.
And the butler's holding that, right?
Yes.
And on the opposite frame, I see somebody in an apron and somebody in a cook or chef's hat, it looks like.
That's Chef Morty.
That's it. Okay. Very good. And on the small little parlor room couch in front is?
Those are the Wahlbergs.
Those are the Wahlbergs.
They're the boaters.
They are the boaters. Okay. And then do we have both Dexter Sr. and Jr. in frame, or is the father only referred to? We don't ever see him.
No, he's there. Do you want to point him out, George?
Sure. We have Dexter Sr. right here, and me as Dexter Jr. right here next to the boat.
And there's, all right, very good. Thank you. You did a good job with that. Steady hand. Good. Thank you, everybody, for that. And so when we're talking about a murder mystery, what is so tricky, we want to give a shout out to the director. Our director is
Amy Crane and Anthony Holt are co-directing.
Because it's so tricky from blocking to timing to the delivery of lines, because you don't want to give too much away, but you want the audience on the edge of their seat so that they're going to be following the storyline and right to the end, hopefully for the fulfillment of the ending and the conclusion. That can be hard. That's why you don't see a lot of murder mysteries. This one does have the component of the added musical element. Will somebody speak to that for the audience that says, well, so is the whole thing a sung musical? Is it like an Andrew Lloyd Webber, or there are just some musical pieces? Somebody address that for us.
No, it's not all music. But I will say the parts that are music, in my opinion, are amazing. I mean, I wouldn't have done this show, and I wouldn't have taken the lead if it wasn't. And I'm glad I get to work with these people who are also doing a great job of bringing the songs to life as well.
How about, I'm curious, in both of your other identities that you cast, because community theater is it is a commitment, because during the day most people are doing their regular jobs, which it was so kind of you to take some time when we were capturing our show, which is at about 10:30 in the morning on a Tuesday. In your everyday life, starting with Joy, other things that you do for your career and work?
Oh, okay. I'm on the board of the Indiana Film Network.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm actually pursuing a professional acting career. I am also completing some project management coursework in education to help that direction. But my life is pretty focused on film and theater right now. And I have 2 little babies, so I also have to take a lot of time to be a mom.
Well,
at
that's
home.
good. That's an important identity you have to wear. And Indiana has changed over the years with its approach to filming. I've been writing in journalism since the early 1990s, and at the very beginning, Indiana just wasn't really throwing confetti in the air when Hollywood would come knocking and say, "We would like to use the streets of Shelbyville for a week." I don't necessarily think it's small town mentality, but it was more of our state didn't give a lot of tax incentives, so it was so much easier to say, well, we'll take it over to Illinois or to Chicago. I don't even know if we even had a film office down in Indianapolis to help facilitate things. Not only does Illinois have film offices throughout in Springfield, they have one just dedicated in Chicago. But one of the first films I remember being shot here was some footage, and you both might be too young for this, but it starred Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell, and it had to do with baseball.
Oh, League of Their Own.
League of Their Own in Evansville, yes. So they did a lot of it in Evansville, and they were able to shoot there on location. And another film that was done here with some bits and pieces, but quite a bit of it, though, because of his local connection. Director John Hancock, who lives now in LaPorte still, did Prancer, the famous holiday film, and he's still in the area. So he's been directing some things at Dune Summer Theater and trying his hand at Live Stage. So he's somebody that if you've not crossed paths with Joy, you should have a cup of coffee with him and pick his brain some.
I didn't know he was still here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go do that.
He's living right there between LaPorte and Michigan City, and very accessible, and on Facebook. So check him out as well. How about the other life that you live, also, George?
Oh, well, I'm a proud union mill worker. I actually just got off a midnight shift, but I was not going to miss this interview to promote the show.
Oh, that's very kind of you. So right along the lake here, close by in the region?
Yeah, Burns Harbor region.
Burns Harbor. So that's very close, and you look much more wide awake than even what I do some of these mornings. So good for you. You're a good sport for being here. Those of you who are just tuning in as we start to kind of close up our interview, we're talking about the Bluff brand new murder mystery. It's your opportunity to see something that most people have not seen before, produced the way it should be done. Footlight Players have been doing their seasons for more than 76 years. They know a thing or two about how to raise that curtain and how to get ovations and bows. This is something that is a murder mystery, but also has that musical component to it. You saw earlier, or you can scroll back if you are tuned in through our social media and streaming and see the zany cast of characters and the costuming. It has to do, again, with the wealthy set of the New York City. And is it period set in the 1920s?
Yes, 1925.
1925. So think kind of Great Gatsby-ish. And again, what unfolds with the murder mystery. Audiences, are they going to be surprised at the very end?
Yes.
I would think so.
They will be surprised. Very good. And we have, again, our lead character, which is Dexter Jr., right?
Yes.
Who is the one that's pursuing this. And once again, a reminder, Joy, your component in the play?
I am Charlotte Fairfield. I am a wealthy heiress who wants to be on Broadway, and I'm third seat viola right now.
It must be so fun to slip into those identities. And even with your previous work and the other shows that you've done, do you find that once that costuming stage comes, it even helps kick it up a notch for you to slip in that form once you're in full garb as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Once you're, at least for me, I can't speak for George, but for me, I have a lot of trouble finding the character until
Sure.
I'm in costume. And then as soon as I'm in costume, if I'm super uncomfortable, if I'm super comfortable, if I feel like, oh, I look very good in this, suddenly I am just right there.
How about George? Is that a helping hand to be in full costume or garb, or no, you absorb the character the minute you've been reading that dialogue? It's an easy transformation.
I like to say it helps. I will say wearing a very large detective trench coat on stage with the lights on it is not great, but
Yeah, that can be. This is very true. That can be one of the sacrifices you have to make when you're up on the stage. The heavy coats, or even when we've done productions of A Christmas Story with the kids in their heavy winter coats. I know throughout the region, that's one of the first things that we often will hear about as well. The costumers there, are they pretty good about letting you, if you want to make a suggestion, to say, well, I kind of see her as sort of decked out in jewelry, or I want a tiara? Are you allowed to have that voice? It may not always come true because it's just not practical. Or no, stay in your lane. You're acting the part. Somebody else is doing the costume. How does that work, Joy?
In my experience, that's been director to director.
It is okay.
Amy and Anthony, for this one, they came in with a very clear vision of what they wanted all of the characters to be in. And they've worked very, very hard to keep all of the costuming as true to the era as possible. But within that, they're also like, well, what do you feel your character would be? Do you feel like they're going to wear something, more buttoned up? Because it's a dinner party.
Yes.
So they asked, do you feel like your character would be uncomfortable because they want to look good? Or do you think your character would wear something just comfortable in general? So we were able to move and work in with that quite a bit, but they had like a strict color palette that each character had to fit. For example, I'm actually a twin. So my twin in the play, we both wear black, white, and purple.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And they were
fascinating.
Yep.
But I could see that color. It popped on that promo photo you got. So what they were striving for, it really is a compliment. I love that Art Deco background that they have for that promo photo as well that we showed earlier. Now, the last question here, this is one of these fun ones here. This is my usual nod that I say it's my tough Larry King, Joan Rivers kind of question. What is one prop that has been particularly pesky or troublesome, or it's not anymore, but it just took some getting used to in the course of this show? Anything at all, where there's a piece of furniture or a prop or a piece of scenery, a champagne cart tray, something that has just been your Achilles heel, but no, it's all smoothed down and it's worked out now.
George, you're first.
All right.
George is thinking. I see him pondering.
Well, not to give too much away, but a clue is found during this murder investigation in the play. So when you find a clue, obviously you have to keep track of where it's going back and forth. So to me, because this clue passes different characters multiple times throughout the show, so in my opinion, keeping track of where that clue is going to go next is the hardest thing to keep track of.
All right, I think you did a good job. You didn't get too much giveaway. That's good. You won't get a text from Amy in a few minutes saying, "Why did you say that on air?" All right, now it's your turn. You've thought about it, Joy.
Oh no, I knew. I am very frustrated with it still. I will be frustrated until we close. My sheet music.
Oh.
I have sheet music on stage, and that's all I'm going to tell you.
All right, so we're going to focus and see how you finesse with this sheet music. It just sounds like so much fun, and that's what's so nice. Just some escapism. Well, Joy, will you do the honors of one last recap? Name of it? Yep, just give us the read through on it. You can read it as your cheat sheet. Just go ahead and read it, Joy.
Oh, so this is The Bluff, a musical murder mystery comedy at Footlight Theater. We're playing September 15th through the 14th, 19th through the 21st, 26th through the 28th. Get your tickets at footlightplayers.org or call 219-874-4035.
Very good. And again, it goes until the 28th, so you've got this month, but don't delay. Get your tickets, whether you do it online or call. I guarantee I've not seen it, but you will not be disappointed based on everything I've ever seen done there. Please come back again anytime. This show's been on for 8 years. What took you so long, right? You have an open invitation. Meanwhile, break a leg and have fun every minute of this run as well.
Thank you, Phil.
And thank you to our viewers and to our listeners for tuning in for this edition of Notoriety. I'm your host, Phil Potempa. We hope you enjoy the rest of wherever your day will take you. If it's a rebroadcast, be it morning, afternoon, or evening.